Welcome to the show. Should I start there?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. My guest tonight, Emma Krebs.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
I'm going to try to not laugh.
You can laugh.
Hello, I'm Emma Krebs. I am a podcast producer.
Oh, okay. For what? Tell me more.
Do you want me to give you the long story or?
Not the long story, because let me ask you the question.
Okay. I'll let you host the show.
But tell me a little bit more.
Yeah, I've been a podcast producer for the past 5 years. It's been quite a journey. I was freelance for about 4 of those years. And then just recently, I just started producing a show called the Doctor Hyman Show.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Does that give you some?
That's good.
Okay.
I realize that I have all these questions for you, but we're probably going to bounce around a lot.
I'll probably ask you some questions.
Okay. My first question, though, is not related to any of that.
Okay.
I see you talking about curiosity all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What's something you've been curious about lately that's not related to work?
Okay. So my birthday was last month. And I got a hand pan for my birthday. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Do you though, really? What do you think it is?
The thing.
No, but what does it look like?
It's like a circle.
Yeah. It's like a sphere.
A sphere.
It almost looks like a...
Tap it around.
Yeah. I got one of them for my birthday.
Cool.
Which is the best gift I've ever got. I've been obsessed with them for years.
Have you played one before that?
I had in Thailand. Yeah.
Nice.
I had seen them over the past few years and they were always so magical to me. I thought they were so fucking cool. They're expensive though.
Yeah.
And so I always just wanted to play one. And then when I was in Thailand, there was classes and it was a group class, but no one would show up. So I'd have these private classes for $3. And I got to play all these handpans. And then Anthony, my boyfriend, got me one for my birthday. So I've been really into handpan lately. That's what I've been curious about.
Are you getting good at it? Have you been playing?
I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but the good thing about the instrument is that the barrier to entry is quite low. It's not like piano or guitar where if you pick it up and you don't know anything about it, it's going to sound bad. A handpan, it's if you literally just hit it, it sounds good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've seen people play it and I'm always so surprised.
Do you have thoughts about it?
No, I want one.
Oh, okay.
I want to play one.
Well, no, I get it's it's a type of person, I feel like.
Yeah.
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 I've always wanted to play one.
I'm in that kind of category sometimes. Yeah. I was driving here and they were talking about people that do drum circles.
Yeah.
And they were taking the piss out of them. And I was a bit I wouldn't do a drum circle, but I'm probably the type of person that would be associated with that.
Speaking of taking the piss.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about how you got to UK and back?
So I took an airplane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I lived in England for the past 3 years. And I lived in a really small seaside town in the Northeast.
Why did you go there?
Because my partner is originally from there. So I met him in Australia 7 years ago. And we've just kind of been bopping around ever since. And so I had moved to LA and his visa was ending. And then I moved back abruptly to Canada and we were running out of time. And we needed a place that we could mutually live. And then also he wanted to apply for residency to Canada. So we had to do it offshore because we had run out of time. So we were cool, I can get a visa to the UK pretty quickly. And so, yeah, that was April of 2022, I think it was. I moved to the UK, which was really an interesting experience. I never thought that was going to be on my bingo card.
So were you working in podcasting throughout that?
Yeah, so I had started my career. I started my own podcast in 2020. I wasn't getting paid for it, but this was just a hobby. I loved the medium. I was deeply inspired by these two guys called the Minimalists, and I was just obsessed with the medium of podcasting. And so then I started my own show in January of 2020, which led me to get a job in social media marketing, which was great because I was working in corporate. I hated it. I never liked my jobs. They just paid the money. And then from there, I started to get on the radar of those guys that I was talking about, the Minimalists. And fast forward, probably a year and a half in, I ended up getting a job to work with them. What was the original question? Sorry.
If you were
why
working,
am I telling you all this?
If you were working on podcasting while you were in the UK.
Yeah. So I was working part-time in podcasting and part-time in social media marketing because I was able to do both then. And then it was probably about maybe a year into that I fully transitioned fully into podcasting. But I feel like the social media management was adjacent to podcasting. Like it helped both sides in a way. So I was always in the digital kind of media space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I started social media marketing.
You did?
First, yeah.
Remind me. I don't remember this.
I've never told you.
Have you not told? Well, I've asked you a lot of questions about how you got here.
Yeah, but then you always uncover something new every time we
I know.
talk.
And I feel like we should explain the first time I met you.
We will. We're not there yet, okay? Because I have questions.
Easter eggs. We're just planting the...
I have questions how you... You kind of went over it just now, but how you ended up being a producer instead of being the
person in the
talent.
spotlight. Yeah. So I love the medium of podcasting. I wanted to just be amongst it. I wanted to work in it. And that was like for years. I think it's probably like 2018, 2019. Like I wanted to do something. I used to fucking have, similar to from conversations we've had, like since I was probably like 17, I was like watching YouTube videos, trying to think of like, I'm going to sell an ebook and I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I was always like going through these ideas. I saw people making an income online, like digital nomads and stuff like that. That was very like, I was obsessed with that. And so anyways, once I found podcasting, I loved it for numerous reasons. And it was when I got my first paid job in podcasting to work on a show called The Minimalist Podcast. I was living in Canada at the time because it was COVID. And once I got the job, they were like, cool, you got the job. He FaceTimed me while I was at my job at the social media agency. And I hadn't told my boss, which is actually my sister-in-law. And I get this FaceTime from this random number. So I like go outside, like I'm in an office. I'm like, I have to go get something from my car. I didn't even have a car. I like run outside. It was him. He's like, you got the job. You need to be here in 2 weeks. And I was like, oh my God. So I moved. I like broke my lease, like sold all my shit, moved to LA. And the first time I walked into the studio for a recording, I was like blown away because there was like 10 people in the studio. And I don't know why, but I know why. I was so naive. I never went to school for like media or anything like that, or film, nothing. And so I was just so naive to the industry. And so it was really eye-opening to be like, there's a manager, there's an audio engineer, there's a studio manager, there's a photographer, a videographer in the studio. And then from there, that really just opened my eyes, that whole experience of like, oh, there's a whole industry here. I can work in podcasting, but I don't have to be the people on the mic and in front of the camera. And I just feel like the more I've gone along, I've had less and less of an interest to be on camera. And I really enjoy the behind the scenes stuff more. So yeah, I also feel like I'm a white bitch that's 28. I got nothing to say. That's the other thing I've really like gathered. So
I don't have that much to say either.
Yeah, but you're a host, so it's different.
Yeah.
Because you're elevating, we said this before, like you're elevating other people's stories, which was something I always enjoyed as a host myself. It was like, it's a lot of lift to create a podcast episode, like from ideation to booking to recording, prepping, recording, editing. That's a lot of effort. So if you can have someone come in and sit with you for 2 hours and they leave and then you've created this piece of content for them, like that's a gift without sounding cliche, but truly.
What would you do if you weren't in podcast producing?
I really don't know.
What was your childhood dream of a job?
I think I always never knew what I wanted to do. And I think part of that was because this job didn't exist then, you know? I did, when I was growing up, like I said I wanted to be like an actress or like a famous person. Like when I was a kid, like a little kid, that was what I wanted. Or I wanted to be a bank teller. I loved that shit. I used to like make my own.
It's not too late.
I worked at a bank for a little bit.
Oh, cool.
As a receptionist.
Nice.
It was not good. It was not good.
You kind of remind me in a way of Mr. Beast. You know how you know how his origin story of how he was so obsessed with YouTube?
Yeah. Okay. If that's the parallel we're making.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Young Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Not Mr. Beast now, but like just being obsessed with it until you are it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Like I didn't know this was going to be a viable career until like last month. No, I'm kidding. But like genuinely only recently, like really recently did I be like, oh shit, okay, this is actually going to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you love YouTube so much. And
yeah,
a lot of the time that's skewed more to men and you'd think
definitely
you'd be more into like TikTok.
I don't even have TikTok on my
Me
phone.
neither. Yeah, I don't either.
Really?
Yeah, I love YouTube.
Same.
Shout out YouTube.
Long form girlies. That's what we are.
When you first started, what surprised you most when you first got behind the scenes? What you kind of said that there's a big team behind it, but what else?
I probably would have had a different answer when years ago, and I feel like I'm kind of forgetting. But one thing that was also kind of surprising but validating and also was pivotal in my career was like, oh shit, there's money back here. Like I can make money in this. Cause I was like, I would do this stuff for a sandwich for just for the experience. And then it was once I started to see how much money is around in the industry, that was eye-opening. Otherwise, things that surprised me when I started, I don't know. Can we skip?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, we met at Pod Summit. Let's talk about how we met.
Let's talk about that.
Our origin story.
Yeah, I'd be curious what your POV was. It's probably not that crazy, but can I start? Can I take the lead for a minute?
Yeah.
I am scrolling on Instagram and I see this crazy wallpaper pop up on my For You page or something. I don't know. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Calgary. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a podcast. Who the is this guy? So then I'm just sat there. I'm like creeping you. And then I see there's like girl dinner. I think that's how you would come on my radar is like, I've followed Sam.
Yeah.
For like a bit. And I'm just like, I feel like I have a good eye on what's going on in Calgary podcasting wise. I'm like a bit nosy. And so I was like, holy shit, this guy's got like a multi-camera setup. He's got the mics, it's in person. And then the backdrop was like so crazy. So I was aware of you. I think we had messaged. I said I was going to Pod Summit or something. I think I said like, this is a great job. Like you're doing great. I can't remember.
Something. And it was like one message before. One or two messages.
I think I messaged you first. And then I remember you were kind of like vague. And I was like, okay. You a little bit, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I was like a bit like, oh, okay.
Oh, more fan mail.
That was the vibe you were giving me. That was the vibe you gave me. So then I go to the there was like a speaker like pre-drink night the night before Pod Summit started. And for the record, like Pod Summit's like my Christmas. Like I love it. And so I run into Jeremy and I'm asking what he's doing, and he's like, oh, I recorded a podcast today. And I'm like, oh my God, who? What podcast? Like you just got here to Calgary. Again, I'm very aware of what's going on here podcasting wise. And he was telling me about you. And I'm like, oh my God, you know him. Tell me about him. And then we just talked about you for like the next 20 minutes. He was like, oh my God, this guy's so professional. He's a teleprompter. Can you cut to the teleprompter?
No, those cameras are not on a swivel.
Overlay it in the next shot.
Okay.
And yeah, he was just talking about you and how he's like, I just can't really figure him out. Like, I can't tell if it's a bit or like if that's, I don't know if you're going to edit this out because I don't know if I'm pulling the veil or whatever it is. And he's like, I can't tell if it's a bit or not. So I'm so curious. He's coming to Pod Summit. I'm so curious to see him in the wild. And I was like, okay, interesting. He's like, yeah, but he's doing good. Like Jeremy was saying great things. So I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. Now my perspective shifted. This guy's not a dick. He's probably just, I'm just being a brat. So then the next day, in the afternoon, he shows up, what is the word? Like fashionably late, literally, in his suit. And he's like talking to Jeremy or something. And I just run over. I'm like, oh my God, hi. I just fangirled. And I was just like, hi. I can't remember.
It was more like that.
It wasn't that crazy of like a story, but that was it.
It was like, hi.
And then we became best friends.
Yeah. You really helped me out at that. Because I went in alone. Yeah. I was nervous. I don't like that kind of thing.
It's a small event as well.
And you were my best friend.
I like introducing people to other people.
You introduced every time I was talking to someone.
And I knew a lot of people there.
You're tapping me on the shoulder. Turn around. This is this person.
Because I've had people do that to me. It's something that like, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I applied for a panel for Pod Summit and they rejected me. So I was
when in the past
for this year. So
like the one coming up or the one that just happened?
The one that just happened.
Oh, well, I feel like it's different. It'll be different next year.
I went into it kind of grumpy, but I loved it so much.
What was your panel idea?
Something about growing community. It was me, Beckler from X929, and
cool.
2 other podcasters.
Do you know Beckler from X929?
Yeah.
That's who I was listening to talking about the drum circle.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure, like when I was driving here.
He's my guest tomorrow.
What?
Like I filmed it already. It comes out tomorrow. Him and Shauna.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I was literally driving here thinking like radio is just cool. Like radio are like you listen to radio and no matter where you are, no matter what city you are, like it makes you like that place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you listen to the radio and they're like talking about that city or wherever they are, you're like, oh shit, wait, yeah, no, this place is cool. I just never listened to the radio, so.
Me neither, but they have a podcast too.
Really?
They compile.
Oh, actually I did hear that.
Yeah, they compile their on-air stuff and then add a little bit more and put out a 20-minute podcast.
I don't know how I feel about that, but
it's good. I listen every day. I don't listen every day. It comes out every day. I listen as much as I can.
Okay. Good to clear that up.
It's different from other radio stations too, because some stations, the DJ is just like up next. It's
right.
whoever.
When I always used to just like walk by and always be like looking in and being like, what are they recording right now? Like I always love that it's just like on 17th Ave and you can see them recording.
Yeah. You're going to love this episode. Okay. We talk about that.
Cool.
And for anyone listening, it's already out a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Weeks ago.
But so I came into it kind of like grumpy that they didn't choose me. I went through one round. I was manifesting. I thought I was going to do it for sure.
Yeah.
So I was angry. And then Jeremy came here before it, which put me in a good mood. Mm-hmm. I love Jeremy.
He's great.
If he lived here, I would want him to be my best friend.
Yeah.
And then after meeting you, it made the whole experience. It really did. And it was great. It's a great event.
It is great. And it's like smaller, more intimate. And I just say this all the time. There's nothing podcasting wise. Like it's always Vancouver or Toronto. So it's so cool to see it here in Calgary. And like we're both from Calgary. So yeah.
If you're interested in podcasting, go to Pod Summit next year. Which camera?
And you can see can I say your real name?
Yeah.
Do people know your real name?
No, a lot of people
don't know your real name.
There's people.
Should I clear it up right now?
No.
Okay.
There's people that I've known for 20 years that don't know my name.
Well, you'll see Duddy hosting a panel.
Yeah. I hope so.
Should I just say a fake name and then people think that's your real name? I'll be like, you can see Jason host this panel.
No, some people have said my name on the show.
Okay.
And then you hosted a panel.
I did host a panel.
What was your panel on again?
This year, my panel was on audience versus algorithm. This one I actually got put on. Normally, I pitch. I am a active pitcher of panels and sessions for events because you get a free ticket and these events are not cheap. Mm-hmm. So this was one time that I actually got put on the panel, like asked to host it. But normally I am the one putting it forward. And I say that because that's not normally the kind of speed my panels are. Usually my panels are about like working behind the scenes in the industry and like how to build a career. Essentially, it's not, I wouldn't say like audience versus algorithm would be something I would talk about on my own.
Yeah, I listened to your panel from the Pod Summit the year before also.
My all-female panel, which is cool. Yeah.
And you are trying to do that at many events, right? Yeah,
that's usually what I put forward because it's something I'm like personally passionate about and it's something I do in my career, but it's like obviously not paid. So I've also worked with like YT Jobs. It's a website. If you are looking to work in the creator economy, it's a great platform to look for work. So I've become friends with the guys that run YT Jobs and we are in the middle of running a pay survey for those of us that work behind the scenes in the industry because there's no, like you get a job. We've had discussions about this. You get a job and you're like, what the heck do I price this at, right? What's the going rate? Like, should you be covered for healthcare? Like, is this appropriate for them to be asking me to do? Just so many questions. And so when it comes to the financial bit, that's, I think, the most confusing part. And so trying to just provide some transparency and also to tell a lot of people that they're being severely underpaid. So because it's such a new industry, I'm really passionate about building a strong foundation for us. And so we're doing a pay survey. I have like groups of like fellow producers in creator economy that I create. I love like connecting other people, trying to help people find work. And these are all unpaid things, but to me, they're just so important. So yeah.
I was asking you about panels.
Sorry.
But I wanted to know because I was thinking if I do one, I'm going to be so nervous. I don't like doing that kind of thing at all. Okay. Do you like it? You thrive in that?
I wouldn't say I like thrive in it. It's something I am often on about like, okay, I want to do this a lot more. Like I see people like Grace Andrews doing public speaking. She'll do like keynotes. Like we saw Jeremy or I saw Jeremy last year do the most insane keynote I've ever done. Like my jaw dropped. I'd never experienced something like that before. It was unreal. He's been doing that. He told me after he'd been doing it for 8 years. So I find that really interesting. I just don't feel like I have anything to talk about. So again, to the panels, it's cool because it's like a podcast. To me, I view a panel as like a podcast. And so the number one thing of reason I was doing it before was to get a free ticket to these events. And then also to talk about things that I feel like would have been helpful for me when I started my career. And so, yeah, it's an excuse to like ask these talented producers or whatever, like about their experience. But I don't know. I feel okay once I get up there. I get nervous a bit. I was more nervous emceeing my brother's wedding last week.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Well, I think it's because I had some alcohol. So I'm not going to do that again.
You know, it's funny. I heard from Beckler that people ask him to MC weddings and stuff, and he doesn't like that kind of thing. He's on the radio, but
I'm not surprised.
He doesn't like public speaking.
I'm not surprised by that.
And I don't either.
No, I think you'll be great as a host. You're going to do a live show of this podcast. So that's going to be cool. And you'll get comfortable on the stage and then with a live audience. And then I think you'll be great at hosting panels.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think creators are looking for when they go to events like Pod Summit? What do they want to get out of it? What do you see? What questions do people ask you after your panel in the lobby? What were you hearing the most?
I don't know specifically to Pod Summit, but one question I often get is like, what is a producer? And like, what does a producer do? And when do I need one? Yeah, I would say. But around podcasting, people are always trying to grow their audience. But like, I'm not a strategist.
Yeah,
I'm a producer. And I've recently kind of like felt more confident to be like, I don't know. I'm not a strategist. You know, like that's an actual other job. Yeah. I'm just producer. You know,
how many jobs have you done in podcasting? Have you done them all?
I feel like I've touched most things. Yeah. But then it's like, you're asking me to put your camera in focus. I'm like, I've managed some cameras, but like, it's not my bag, you know?
Same.
Yeah. But I do feel like that's been beneficial because to me, a producer is a jack of all trades, but master of none. You wear many hats, and I view it as the person that has like the overview of the entire project. And so having some basic understanding of all of the elements that come into play is better. So it's like, I would 100% go to a videography course, a lighting course, a sound design course, like always to gain my knowledge, even if it's not directly related to my job and like so niche on it, because it's going to help me in the end, in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the main things you do day to day?
As a producer?
Yeah.
It's a very umbrella term because there's so many different types of producers. It depends on the project. It depends on the team. It depends on the medium. And that's something I talk about a lot, usually with my other producer friends. For me, technically my role on the current show I work on is production operations manager. So think about operations. So I'm involved in the creative for sure, but it's a lot more like keeping everything on schedule, on time, a lot of like annoying logistics of like, okay, in this contract, we promised X. So I have to ensure that in this episode, we're not discussing Y, right? And like just little annoying things like that. So right now, the show I work on, I do guest ideation and guest booking, which is quite a lot of annoying exchange. And then once we've confirmed a guest, I moved into prep. And so I'll do all of the research. This is probably my favorite part of the job. It's always been. I'm a very curious person. So I also feel like it's one of my strengths. That and pitching. I don't pitch anymore. But so I do my prep, which takes me like multiple days usually. I create about like a 15-page doc, depending on the guest. And with that, I also craft questions and like the direction of the episode. So kind of like I'll come up with title ideas, and from there, that's where we springboard the conversation, right? So like, what's the goal? What's the message we're trying to get across here? Then we will record. So the show I work on now, everyone's remote. So I will be brought in on Google Meets or like Zencaster or whatever, and I'll sit in for the recording. If we have to make any changes in the recording, then, or we didn't cover something that is related, right, to the structure I've outlined, we'll circle back on that. I'll give them notes in recording. Then I watch the episode again. Once we go into our first round of edits, our editor will take a first pass to tighten it up and remove all of the like, you know, we've adjusted the camera or something like that. And then I'll do a content edit. So maybe some episodes we've had to like bring the whole back half and bring it up to the front because of just the structure of it. But sometimes it's just like light, minor edits. Sometimes it's legal things. We've had people say things that like legally they're not allowed to say, or protection of the talent, you know, we'll remove certain things. Then I'm really going into detail.
I want you to.
Okay. This is like getting niche though for people that like don't.
That's okay.
Okay. Then we move to packaging. So I will.
Before you continue, I have some people who listen to my show who email me, how do I get it on my TV?
Right. So
there's a big range.
I know. That's what I mean. They're going to be like, what the what the heck
They
is she
might
talking
be
about?
really interested because it applies. They probably think it's applying to my show and how my show's made.
Well,
even though yours is.
You do this. So I'm one of multiple people in this cog. So if anything, they should be shocked at how much you are doing fully on your own.
Thanks.
That's what we should shed light on in this moment. We go into packaging. So then I'll craft the title thumbnail. I know that sounds minor, but it's actually the most important thing when thinking about YouTube. But again, I would have had the kind of title and thumbnail in mind before in pre-production. I will get the thumbnail created, sync in people for show notes, all the kind of back end stuff. And we publish the episode. I don't know. There's way more in between that. Like I also, probably the other biggest thing that I do that is like a lot of lift is I'll provide direction on our intro. So that's also our trailer. And as you know, like that's one of the most important parts outside of packaging. We also use that on social media. So I do a paper edit of that I send to an agency that we actually outsource our intros to because we have a lot of After Effects, sound design, things like that, that agency, all they do is make podcast trailers. And so I do the paper edit of that and work with them on that and social clips and things like that.
I love it. It's a lot of work.
That was very niche. Sorry.
No, people will love it. Well, I love it. So that's what matters.
Yeah. But I mean, a producer could do many things. They can do casting, they can do editing, all of it.
What's the most understood part of the job?
Most understood or misunderstood?
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Probably just how much things I do.
Mm-hmm.
People probably people just think you just hit record.
Set up my iPhone.
And and publish it.
Sometimes guests are like, can you send me the episode tonight? I'm like, no, I can't.
You're also like, it's 65 gigabytes. Do you even know how to download this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that someone I had on is a YouTuber for the most part. And he's a pilot and he's a YouTuber. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
He was telling me he was talking to YouTube and they told him, make the thumbnail before you shoot the video, which seems backwards for someone who has never done it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that it works that way.
I would say podcasting is this weird in between though, because as I've kind of alluded to, I have a lot of friends that work exclusively for YouTubers. Like they don't have a podcast. So their YouTube videos will be like 10 minutes long and like that is their bag. And so you can play around a lot more. Whereas podcasts, the algorithm's slightly against you. You have different elements at play. But yeah, like by the book, you should be doing ideation and have a really good idea of what your thumbnail and title are going to be when you're in pre-production. Even before, if you have a guest on, like you should be ideating who the guest is going to be along with like the thumbnail title, But it's like, that depends on your show. Maybe your show is not a YouTube show. Maybe it's an audio only show. You got to think about what success is to you and like where your audience is.
Yeah. My thumbnails aren't great for...
You have a template, don't you?
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly?
Yeah.
Why are they not great?
Well, just not for what YouTube wants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no
See,
like
that's what I mean. It's a podcast
head up
though.
close with a word.
With the
right?
reactions. Well,
Yeah.
Do you want some tips?
Yeah.
On like what, if you want to change it up, is after. This is what I've done on past shows, is when we'd have guest episodes, we'd always record in person. And when we'd finish recording, we would just move the camera out. They'd sit in the chair and then they'd look straight to camera and just go, like make reactionary faces. And then we just pull the stills and use those.
I'm probably going to use that
That's
as
fine.
my thumbnail.
Yeah. Avoid me doing that.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
We'll see. When you meet people in the industry, can you tell which ones are going to sustain and which ones are going to burn out?
I don't know about burnout, but I would say like make it or not, because the biggest thing is passion. I really had to work hard to get to the point that I am now. And I, for years, just didn't make a lot of money. And I would be like, why the F am I doing this? Why the F am I doing this?
What do you think makes a creator easy or hard to work with as a producer?
Usually the people that I've worked with, the talent I've worked with are very busy. So if they actually listen to the notes and the feedback I have, like this is my bag, like I'm not saying I'm an expert, but they've hired me to do this. It's like you're an electrician. It's like, say you hire them, you have a problem, and then you just don't listen to them, then it's like you're still going to have electric issues. That's a really bad example.
No,
but
that's fine.
I would say that is the best thing. What makes a creator easy or hard to work with. So if they're open to my ideas and will work collaboratively with me, that'd be good. The other thing is if they're just doing it as like another to-do list item, again, a lot of the people I've worked with have multiple things going. It's not just a podcast. They often are like running businesses, or maybe they're also a content creator in a different medium. And so if they're not like actually invested in the podcast, then it's not going to work. Whereas most of the time, the creators I've worked with, the podcast is one of the many things they do, but they always talk about how it's one of their favorite things that they do and they make time for it. And so I would say that's probably a big marker on if it's going to gel together or not.
That was good. I liked that. Clip it. I'm going to break now.
Okay.
I don't know how to transition. Wait, don't take those off yet.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Oh, you actually do it like that?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. If you're new to the show, please subscribe on YouTube. Lots of listeners on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. Keep subscribing there. Share it with someone. If you think it's a cool concept, share it with your friends. We want to keep it going. So, yeah, thanks so much. Stay tuned for more Deets. And we're back. That's how I come back.
Perfect. Are we back or are you going to do it again?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, before we dive in, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
So this set is crazy.
Thanks.
Where the hell did you get the mural from? Have you talked about this before?
I've kind of. But
I want like the nitty gritty, like what picture is this? Like, where's this picture from?
Okay, so I made it with AI. So I gave AI a couple inspo pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Starry Night, Van Gogh was one of them.
Why do you just like that?
Yeah. And
have you always just liked that picture?
Yeah.
Painting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was thinking of like old Conan.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
And every late night show, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Conan's really your inspiration? Your North Star?
Yeah. Old Conan.
Okay.
He used to have like the retro kind of stars in the logo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to look like that. And I gave a picture of Calgary downtown. And then I wanted the Calgary Tower to stand out more.
Yeah.
And it's kind of lined up with my head. So it's in the...
And that was
reels.
really thought through. Yeah.
And that's supposed to be the bow tower, which was very hard to get AI to imagine. That took like this whole, just to make this picture took like 6 hours probably.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. And then this is literally on the wall.
Yeah. And then I sent it to a wallpaper company in Sweden that blew it up to, I don't know, 20 feet across or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually 8 large stickers. It's peel and stick.
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell that on the camera. That's the thing is I think you come across as like this, like, oh, I'm cool. I don't care. Like, da-da-da. But the amount of attention.
Do I come across that way?
I feel like you did when I first met you. I was like,
Okay.
oh, and that's why I think I was kind of like, oh, okay, this guy's like too cool for school and like doesn't care and da-da-da. And it's like, no, just the set alone, just the detail. Exactly. It's
Mugs.
clear.
Yeah. I put a lot of work in.
Like why did you start this show?
Also, this desk is my favorite part, by the way. It was a bar.
Did you build it?
It was a bar I found at a garage sale. And I
Okay.
cut it down to height. And then I wired it with...
How'd you cut it?
Like
Like a butter knife?
No, a saw. Actually, my uncle did it.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I was like, you use power tools?
No, but I love this desk.
That's one thing I think in the small amount of time I've known you, I had to call you out on that one. We even got lights in the desk.
Yeah. Underneath.
So what made you start the Deets with Duddy?
Well, I was doing a podcast before, and when I told people I do a podcast, I did 10 episodes, not in the late night show. And I would tell people I do a podcast, and they'd roll their eyes so hard. Like, yeah, I bet you do. Like, everybody does a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It probably sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to make it stand out. And my background is more in marketing and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that to myself. I marketed it as a late night show.
Love it.
And I actually just wanted to do it. I've told this part a couple times, but as a proof of concept so that I could produce
other people's shows. 100%.
Like rent that set out.
Yeah, the other set, which is sick.
And, but then it kind of just caught fire on its own, and it's been fun. I like the networking part of it the most.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing stuff every day.
Yeah.
You post on your Instagram story going to a different event all the time.
Yeah, in character.
I don't know how you do it. Yeah, but that's what I'm gonna call out now. The only difference is that you're in a suit.
I am a lot funnier out of character, I think, too.
Oh, right. You did say that.
Yeah, I'm a little stiff as a late night show
Oh,
host.
right. Okay. We're serious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll probably grill you with more questions, but I just wanted to ask that.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
You talk a lot about creating content. No, I can't. Okay, back to the show.
Back to the show.
But seriously.
Yeah.
I am going to say that line. You talk a lot about creating content that resonates. Do you talk about that?
I think you pulled that from my website, which I didn't write.
Okay. You didn't even write your website?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Shout out to Tom. He built my website for me.
Well, do you want to talk about content that resonates? You know what you do talk a lot about? Curiosity.
I do talk a lot about curiosity.
Yeah, I hear you say that word.
Yeah, I love that word.
Let's talk about content that resonates. Can you define that connection? Like what? Tell me about authentic content, what it means to you.
I don't know. I feel like when you take all the bullshit marketing words out, I was also freelance, so I was trying to get work. And that's where that wording probably would have come from. But I don't know about you, but I feel like we are similar in, well, actually, I don't know. Back up. Edit all of that out.
If you wrote it, I feel like there'd be a lot of swears in it. My grandma watches this show.
So sorry. What's your grandma's name?
Sharon.
Sharon, I am so sorry. It's more concerning that I've blacked out that I've sworn. I always resonated with like YouTube and podcasting because growing up, I didn't have many friends, right? I had my childhood best friend. She grew up to become a professional ballerina. So she was in the studio like all the time. So I could never hang out with her. My other best friend was my cousin, but she lived in Kelowna. So like I saw her once a year. So I literally had no friends growing up. So I would log on to my family computer and watch content. And one, just like the connection of like watching something, but then two, watching something that like resonates with you. I think we all know what that feels like. And so I think I've also just been like chasing that of like working on things I believe in and helping other people to create important content because I know what it feels like to be on the receiving end of like feeling seen, you know? And I get in-person connection is important, but at the same time, if you're living in a small town and like no one is like you or people don't have the same interests as you or you just have a completely different perspective than them, it can be really isolating. So then to be able to consume content that you feel like you see yourself in whatever way that looks like, it helps us all feel more connected. And I think that's like the meaning of life. Did you think I'd go there with that? The meaning of life.
I didn't think you'd end on the meaning of life.
Oh, you can edit all that out if you want.
I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it in. But now it makes the rest seem not as important.
Oh, okay. We can just end it there.
No. What do you think creators get wrong about trying to make authentic content? And do you think people can tell when they're doing that?
It's a tricky one because you have to, it's kind of what that panel was that I did at Pod Summit last year of like, you have to play the game to an extent of like what these platforms are, right? Like there's basic things we talked about, packaging, you know, and stuff. And, you know, if you want to create short form content, the hook is so important. And so there's a level of being like almost like a branded show or like a marketing show. And then also just being genuine. And like also I question if like art and like the craft of like cinematography and stuff like that is just gone down the drain because of our attention spans and these algorithms. But the original question was,
who cares? Who cares what it was?
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. And it's like when I'm making reels, I don't want to make the first 3 seconds exciting. I just want to make.
How do you tell a good story with that sometimes, you know? There is some people that can do really good storytelling, but that's just one format. Like I just feel like one format, one type of content is only being elevated right now. Whereas like, yeah, I also think it's like messing up our attention spans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everyone is so dialed and using the same format that then all of a sudden nobody stands out. Yeah. When creators struggle, what usually kills the show more, workflow or messaging?
I would say neither.
Oh.
I would say what kills a show, a podcast, is people, I keep vlogging it, but don't realize how much time and effort it goes into a show and resources. And they think that after the 3rd episode, they're going to make money and they're going to get 1 million views and all this stuff. And they don't realize that like it is a marathon and the money doesn't come straight away. And it is a lot more lift than they think. I think that's what kills most shows. And that's why they don't go past 6 episodes.
A lot of the messaging to people starting a podcast, it can feel negative. Like when Jeremy was here, he's like, you're never going to make money podcasting.
Yeah, I could see this, what you're saying. Yeah.
Everyone, it's like, if you're not into it, just quit. That's what people hear a lot. It takes a lot of time. People don't understand that.
People don't understand that. But also, I think there's other two things is like, what is your podcast about and why are you doing it? Because if you are like, if you actually pull it back and you're like, it would be nice to make money from a podcast, right? Everyone thinks that sounds good. But if you have other income sources and you're making the podcast for different reasons, and like when you really get clear on that, like you can gain so many other benefits from creating a podcast than making direct income. You can make indirect income by maybe they see you hosting this show and then they ask you to come host a different show, a live, I don't know, something at the Grand. They're going to ask you and then maybe they pay you to do that, or say you had a marketing company, maybe you get a podcast client from this. You can get a lot of indirect income from it, but you can also have great connections, great conversations, and you can build your network. Like you've gained so many benefits from it that are beyond financial. You know that. You've talked about it in this conversation,
Yeah, I have. So how do you not scare people away? Let's say someone wants to get started in podcasting. What advice do you give to them that isn't scary?
I would just ask them why they want to start a podcast and get clear on that and then kind of go from there, right? Because even for me, when I started my show, it was more like a personal journey. It didn't matter if people listened to it because I learned so much about myself through that experience. That's something I think is very underrated by podcasting as well. I imagine you've learned so much about yourself through it in so many different ways. And I met some of my personally deepest, closest friends through the podcast as well too. And so those are things that go beyond financial. Like I could never put a number on that. So yeah, just asking people why they want to start a show and just kind of reminding them to stick to that because it's so easy to get caught up in the noise and compare yourself to the cliche of compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 12, and then also just remind them a lot of the people that we're looking to that are the big shows, just really stripping back and shedding light on how much resources they have behind them. Because again, I think to the naked eye, it can look like they just rock up and it's you don't know all that's happened behind the scenes for them to get there. And so you're doing this all yourself. It's very impressive, the lift that you're doing on your own. So just reminding people that. And that's a long-term game,
What are some good tools and resources that people can use? Do you have any off the top of your head?
For podcasting?
Yeah.
A book that's actually really interesting because there's not many books about podcasting. There's one called Make Noise by Eric Newsom. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but that was one I found early in my career. And that was great, especially if you're curious or thinking about making a show and you're still in ideation. There's some really good exercises in there to get clear on what the show's going to look like, who you're speaking to, and things like that I've actually pulled and I use with my clients if I'm working on a new show with them. And I just like books. So it's kind of ironic you're reading a book about podcasting. I mean, when it comes to softwares and stuff like that, there's loads, Descript, Autopod, all that kind of stuff. I would also just say work with a transcript. I don't know if people do that. I've been having some consulting sessions with people and they're not utilizing a transcript. And I just feel that makes things so much easier. I don't know. You got to kind of figure out what works for you. So don't be afraid to pivot and try different things within your workflow.
What do you mean work with your transcript? I mean, now I edit using my transcript.
There you go. Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I always have a transcript. I recognize that there's Descript and stuff like that you can use at the same time. And probably I could speed up my workflow from it. But I just find it easy for so many things. If you're removing swears, if you're trying to find a clip, if you're creating your intro, just to pull from it, it's so much easier. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else to say beyond that.
No, that's good. I do that, but I didn't know if you meant something else.
I don't. It's not that deep, but I just feel it is really helpful.
I have a lot of workflow questions that I don't think we need to talk about.
Yeah, we can maybe talk about them off air.
Yeah.
I would say that's the biggest thing that people come to me about though. For consulting, people are they really struggle to create a workflow. Mm-hmm. And so the biggest thing I'll just say on that is there is no one size fits all. You got to work with what your team has, what resources you have. Every show I worked on, our workflow is entirely different. But I would say if you're working with multiple people, get a production calendar.
Okay.
But nice. You're a one-man band, so.
Yeah, I still need a calendar.
Yeah.
You talk a lot about...
I had a question for you I was going to ask you.
Okay, ask your question.
What's the biggest thing that you've taken away since creating this podcast?
I don't know. What do you mean?
You can take it anyway. What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself since you've created this podcast?
That I can put myself out there. Mm. Yeah.
And people like you.
Yeah, I have always known that.
That was a pre-podcast. Because I see you in public, in
Yeah.
the wild, and you're always just surrounded by people. Even I ran into you.
Yeah.
So I was so socially awkward that day. I was like,
Me
not
too.
innocent. No, you.
Before, I don't drink anymore. And there was a while,
How long have you not been drinking?
3 years, something like that,
Okay.
except minus my wedding and bachelor party. And
That's
I don't
valid.
know.
Yeah.
How long has it been now? I don't know. I'm not like in recovery or anything.
No, but I just 3 years. Sorry, I just spat.
That's
3
okay.
years gives us a bit of that's like a good amount of time.
Yeah. So at first, I thought maybe I would be more socially awkward or timid out in public.
Yeah.
And I was. But now that I'm just going and go out
I think
all
it'd be
the
really
time.
empowering.
Yeah. Now it's back to how it was when I was drinking. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Good for you.
social
How
and
long
stuff.
do you feel like that took for you to get to the place where you felt confident enough?
It's just like exposure therapy. It's like some nights I go to 5 events.
I know.
So, or not some nights, some weeks.
Oh, yeah. But like, since I met you, I didn't even know there was 5 events going on in Calgary to begin with.
I didn't know either. It's just I have someone in the music industry on my show, someone in the film industry, and then I've opened.
You need a manager.
I kind of do.
You do.
But all these, I didn't know there's all these communities. Always, there's 5 things every night that I could go to.
It's crazy. I didn't know it until I met you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you talk a lot. No, you do talk a lot about the creator economy.
Yes.
You like to talk about that.
I do.
What does that mean?
It's an umbrella term. I don't know the actual definition. People ask me that. When I talk about it, I'm usually talking about YouTube or podcasting or podcasts that get published on YouTube because that's a whole other thing. But essentially, I'm open to your thoughts. The creator economy is just like any sort of social media, digital media kind of thing. You know, it's a newer term. I think
feel
I've
like
looked up the formal
It's
definition.
picking up. I hear it a lot more often lately.
Especially in like the States, it's massive.
It's
Very niche though right now, I feel like.
I don't know if it's just like a pocket in time because do you have any opinion on like AI and stuff?
I find those conversations boring.
I don't want to talk about it in that way.
No, I know. I'm
But-
just giving you context on my perspective. I
Yeah.
usually find them boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now the creator economy is growing so rapidly. People are talking about it all the time
Mm-hmm.
and it might just be like snuffed out completely.
The creator economy
Yeah.
due to AI?
Yeah. Not snuffed out, but like there's going to be a lot of AI taking spots from people
I don't know.
or people like overusing AI, or maybe it makes it too easy to be in the creator economy and then it's no.
I think I'm too naive to talk about AI, but I do just generically feel like it's like you see people doing like woodworking now, or like my partner's a builder, like a brick and I think I told you this. I went to a creator economy event one time and I was like, oh, my partner's a builder. And they were like, oh my God, that's so cool. What are they building right now? Like thinking it was like some sort of like intangible thing. I'm like, no, he's a brick and mortar builder. Like these things are just becoming like non-existent anymore, right? And I think like art and things like that could become even more valuable as the AI stuff comes along. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think about it and I should. I don't know.
I don't like to talk about it. This maybe is one of the first times I've brought it up on my
Interesting.
show.
I
It's
don't know what that
just
says about me.
well, it's just
I'm so boring. People are like, so AI.
I'm only worried because when I work for like 15 hours on something
Yeah.
and then someone can just make it in like 10 seconds.
I don't know. Okay, I get what you mean. I think we can work adjacent with it. Like I use AI and I don't think like someone like you, it's perfect. It's just you. So if you can create 10 clips through AI, that's going to save you 10 hours. That's great. But I do think, as you would probably know too, like it always still needs that human pass. I haven't found something that's like perfect that AI can like fully do on its own. Then it's also like I was watching the Coke. You know, the Coke does the Christmas ads. I saw their one for this year for the first time this year. And was it last year that they did it all through AI and everyone was like in an uproar?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I can't remember what ended up happening, but it's like sad.
Was this year not AI? Was it back?
I don't know because that was my.
Oh,
It's an incomplete thought because I thought, oh, I'm gonna look that up after and see if they used AI again this year.
Yeah.
But then you think about like disrupting the industry and things like that. Like they're the first. If they did it, like the first year they did it, they're just trying something new. You can't like get mad at them.
The video creation stuff is crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
I haven't really used it yet because I don't care.
We have an issue right now. I don't know if I can talk about this, but
Don't then.
okay.
Don't talk about it. If you want to know more, find her on Instagram.
Cool. That's good.
Maybe that's when they'll go.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about trends that you've been seeing then in the creator economy. You follow it more than anyone. You're like Mr. Beast.
People love to start a podcast. That's one. Like we both know. I would say there's a lot more push on like in-person stuff. I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like you might be similar. Once you start making shows, you get so sucked into your own show that sometimes you're like, the last thing I want to do is watch a podcast after work. Or like I go through ebbs and flows on like YouTube and stuff like that where I won't watch it for months, which is crazy because I used to watch it like all the time. Like I didn't have cable for like years. I just watch YouTube.
Do you have cable now?
I don't have cable now, no.
Okay.
But I just mean like I didn't have Netflix. I didn't have any sort of streaming platform. Like I just watched YouTube.
So for people entering production and specifically young women entering production, what advice do you have for them?
There's no right way to do it. The imposter syndrome is always going to be there. But don't be afraid to ask questions and try new things and pivot. I would say that's a big thing is like when you start working on something, if it's not working out, just pivot as quickly as you can. I recognize that sometimes money is involved. And if you're not, like, you got to take what you can. Knock on all the doors you can. Just try things. Just try as many things as you can. That's why freelancing is really, really hard, but it's really good at exposing you to a lot of things at once. And you do have the ability to pivot quicker, I feel like, than if you were locked into like a proper job. But there's pros and cons for both. And the other thing is like networking. I think people really undermine how powerful a network is. I think you're really good at this too. The majority of the experiences and jobs and knowledge that I've gained has come from my own network. So just start to plant those seeds and build those connections, even when you're like, why would I ever need to talk to a thumbnail designer if you're like making, I don't know, a book right now? You never know where that person's going to go. You never know where your career is going to go. So just like start putting yourself out there and just being like genuinely curious about other people. And you never know where that could lead. But yeah, I will say at the beginning of my career, I really struggled to find women. I had a lot of, nothing bad against it, but I just had a lot of 40-year-old men in my life that worked in the industry. Like that was basically everyone I knew in the industry. And meeting other women has been so great for many reasons. And I'm not dissing on men, but I just also feel like the women have been so helpful and so open to share ideas. Whereas I feel like a lot of the gatekeeping, this sounds bad. Now it sounds like I'm pooping on men, but I'm not.
It happens.
I just feel like the experience I've had with men is sometimes they're a little bit more gatekeepy than women can be. But regardless, no matter who you are, do not gatekeep. Because I also think if you are starting your career in production, in whatever that looks like, if someone is gatekeeping, that's really sus. And do not continue to chat with them. I don't know. That was kind of all over the shop. But
no, we didn't even talk about your freelancing as much. Like
that's
kind
fine.
of glossed over that. But that's good advice. You know, this show would be nothing without networking. It's fun.
You're
it's
great
good
at
stuff, but the networking's more important than, because I was so bad at first even. It's just, it's been mostly networking. I
feel like also this job, like me and my job right now, has been, without sounding cliche, it's an accumulation of like who I am as a person, because I do have, I mean, I'm anxious and I'm not like confident all the time, but I feel like I could talk to a wall, and I do feel like I actually don't have that strong of hard skills, but I'm like personable, and I've had enough life experiences where like I've had to take initiative or like put myself out there and stuff like that. So it's interesting that like these soft skills that I couldn't put on a resume are actually like what get me the furthest in my career. Yeah, that's a bit of an incomplete thought.
Doesn't matter. I'm out of questions. What else?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Where's this show gonna go? Where do you see it going? Or do you not like that question?
No,
it's like when people get married and they're like, when are you having kids? You know?
I don't know when I'm having kids.
Well, that's what I mean. God. It's like maybe you don't even want to have more kids, you know? Like that's the whole point of the joke, is that like maybe you're like, I'm happy with where it's at now.
Where is it going? I'm going to do a live show. Maybe I'll do multiple live shows.
That'd be cool.
Depending, because as I've been doing this and going out to these live music shows or film industry things, I realized people love being offline. In person.
Yeah, that's what I think I said, if you don't cut it out. People love being offline. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100% the trend thing is like in person is so valuable now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to do live show. It's like, it's a lot harder, obviously. And
Why?
Well, because I'm just in my house right now.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a lot easier to just put out an episode than I have to hire a bunch of people for the live show.
Sell tickets.
Fill the room.
Figure out a way to sell tickets.
Yeah.
Market it.
Yeah. But
rent out the space. Get a guest.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream guest of who you would have for the live show?
I think I know already who I'm going to do.
Have you told me yet?
No.
Oh.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But moving forward, it could be, I don't know. But I do also want to produce for other people.
Yeah.
And I want to have a sort of network.
What kind of shows would you like to produce for other people?
Different kinds. I want to have a good range.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of so when we present it to sponsors and stuff, it's like you get all of this deck of cards.
Right.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want to do one that's just like mine, actually.
Mm-hmm. What's been like the hardest part about creating this podcast?
I guess learning all the tech stuff, like the cameras and the editing.
Mm-hmm. Because did you know much about it before?
No.
And you have a crazy set.
ChatGPT is really helpful.
Yeah, like you're not shooting on an iPhone.
No, I'm not. There's 4 cameras. There's not one there right now, but the editing too. It's just like that. That's the bottleneck, right? I could film an episode every day, and I have a long list. Like I told you, I could make 50 episodes this month if I wanted to, but
you don't have the time to edit it.
Yeah.
I
And the
know.
release schedule too. It's like I don't want to release 50 episodes in a row. So
Right.
if I filmed 50 episodes, that's a year of content pretty much.
Right. And you want it to not be you want it to be evergreen if you're holding it for months.
Yeah. And I'm also working on another podcast. Didn't I tell you that before?
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah. So I have that one. And then I'd love to work on.
That's a completely different format and completely different style.
Mhm.
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one's taught me a lot because that one's audio only.
Yeah, that's a whole different
Yeah. It taught
medium,
me
essentially.
to tweak the audio on this show. It helped me.
What do you mean?
Just like I didn't pay as much attention to the audio before.
Like the actual audio quality?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
interesting.
then editing the audio only show.
Right, you wanted to
have
make the audio
dial it
sound
in
better. Yeah.
So it made the audio better on this.
Hmm.
And I don't know where I was going with that.
What's your favorite part about the whole experience?
Meeting all the people.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So not the conversation, just meeting the people. You said that already, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I think that was a repetition question.
No, and just like all of a sudden being part of all these communities in the city.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Has anything surprised you about the experience?
Oh, there's a lot of pressure on this side of things. Hey, I don't, what has surprised me? No, just how inviting everyone is. I know, like, I really want my show to highlight whoever the guest is. Like, I'm making every episode not thinking about viewers at all. I'm thinking about, like, it's going to be for you.
You want the guests to have, I get it.
Yeah. So, and sometimes they don't watch it. They're like, oh, I don't watch stuff with me in it, but I'm sure it's
Well, it's a them
good.
problem, not a you problem.
But I'm making it for them.
Their kids will be happy or something in the future. Or how has it changed your perspective on Calgary? Because you're from Calgary, right? We're both from Calgary. This is like an anomaly that we're from Calgary.
Yeah.
How do you think it's changed your perspective of the city?
I love it so much more now.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, before it's just where I lived. I didn't care.
Did you have no like connection to it?
Yeah.
Beyond just like, oh, it's where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I love it.
Are you like proud to be like from Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love Calgary now.
I feel like that was something for me that, because I was living in Australia and then I moved back to Calgary and I started my podcast and I was so not happy to be in Calgary. I was like, this is the last place I want to be. And then I started, again, getting more involved in my community in Calgary. And I was like, oh, this place is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope that everyone feels that way. I want everyone to feel that way. That's actually what I want the show to do. Because there's a couple shows that are similar, but it's not just like this, you know?
I've not seen a late night show in Calgary though.
No.
Even on television, I haven't.
There's a couple coming through. So actually there's a guy who's doing a live late night show who I just saw the other day.
In Calgary?
Yeah. He's a comedian. I wish I knew his name,
He
but we're
needs
going
to
to
come on
do,
the show.
we're going to do some kind of collab.
Interesting.
Let's close out the episode.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
I apologize in advance for you editing this episode.
I might leave a bunch in. Not the stuff that you said to cut, but there might be.
That's fine.
Yeah. Do you want people to look you up?
If you want to. If you have any questions, I am all ears. If you have questions about building a career, building a podcast, I'm always happy to chat.
Where do they find you then?
Instagram's probably best. My handle is by Emma Krebs. Like, it's like created by Emma Krebs. Or do people say your email address? Is that weird?
If you want to.
Just Instagram's best.
Instagram.
Yeah.
You also have a website, very curious.
And it's called emmacrebs.com. It's my website. Yeah. You can email me. My email is in my Instagram bio.
Okay. Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll see you all the time for the rest of my life. We're good friends.
Yeah. It was great to chat to you, Jason.
Jason.
I'm going to start a rumor that's your real name.
I'm just going to cut to you laughing here.
What were you saying last?
I don't know. Thanks for coming.
I think that was funny.
Okay.
Thanks for coming. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Okay. Are we done then?
Yeah. It's your f***ing show.
See you next week. Watch your language.
I thought we were done. Okay. Can we redo the outro?
No, we're not redoing it.
All right. See you next week.